Hi, I'm Elena, and I have two children in the Boston Public Schools, ages 9 and 6. School preview time is very important to me because I had never been into a Boston Public School, and so to actually see the facilities and what they looked like was very important to me, where I would send my children. And it did give me the opportunity to see what these buildings look like.
Which ones were good?
What made up the preview school time visit for me was that I saw the school in action. I saw what was going on. The facilities, actually the older ones and the newer ones, far exceeded anything that I had imagined. I was able to see inside classrooms and how teachers were interacting with students and how enthusiastic the students were. I had an interesting experience at one of the schools where, walking down the hall with the principal as he was showing us the school, one of the students came right up to him and gave him a hug and said, "How are you today, Mr. I forget his name, but whoever he was." And this was a younger principal, and I just thought it was just a sweet interaction to see in the school environment that we were in. It was a sort of a tougher neighborhood, I thought, and to see that he had this connection with these kids he was such a young age, and these kids were young, and that there they were trying to work together for a common good goal. It was nice to see. It was very heartening. I think the principal is very important to be part of the visit. I went to one school that I was told by everybody that I was supposed to absolutely love, and that's where I should send my daughter. And the principal wasn't the one that gave the tour, and it was the vice principal, and she really, her demeanor was just very different than what I would like to have seen. I had a very negative impression, not because the principal couldn't show up, but more because of the way this woman delivered the message. Then at the school that we did end up going to, the principal was right there and enthusiastic, and really appeared to have such a command of the ship that was the school, and put the best foot forward for the school and told all the great programs that were at the school and how the school operated. And it really made such a difference to have the person who's the head of it have such enthusiasm. So whether it's the principal, the vice principal, or someone else giving the tour, it's got to be someone that has just such enthusiasm for the school and really wants you to be there, instead of knowing that they're popular and knowing that, oh, we don't need to worry about you. I think the fact that the principal at the school that we ended up going to really cared that I would like the school made such a difference to me. It was meeting parents who are already in the school was a boon for me, in actually the eventual school that we did choose, because I could imagine myself having a lot in common with them, and seeing those parents did have a great influence on me. So it was good to meet those parents. It was nice to see the differences in the parents too. Actually, in one of them, the woman who was representing the school parent council, she actually had gone. She had no child there, but she was still there enthusiastically plugging the school. So it was nice to see that. Nice to see that. Well, there was one school, I mentioned it before, the one that I was supposed to love. It was a very big group of people. First of all. It wasn't done by the principal, and the woman who gave the tour gave us this impression that, of course, you want to be here, it's just very tough for you to get in, and that's going to be your problem. So she put that off, versus another school that I was looking at that was also tough for us to get in, just given the proximity. We weren't walkers, and it was a single-strand school. The principal couldn't have been nicer and more welcoming, and really wanting all of us to get in, even knowing that we all had snowball's chances of getting in. But for the fact that she was just so enthusiastic to have us looking at the school, she made me want to get into that school because of her enthusiasm. So I think that to improve visits, I think that each school's office should really think long and hard about how they encounter the parents who are prospective parents. And like I said, any parent is a prospective parent, and you have to keep that in mind at all times. I know it's hard to always be on your best foot, but I think that when you have parents coming in, especially the preview time parents, that's easy to pre-arrange. I think it's nice to have other school parents there who can come, parents of the organization, school parent council or school site council. I think it's important not necessarily to have both, but to have someone who can talk about the options for parent involvement, which I think is key to a successful education. Also, and this is a goofy thing, but I think it was nice to have food at the occasion, and nice to have home-baked food. That to me meant that there were some parents who you could the principal could call upon to have home-baked food. I think that that's a nice extra touch. That's like putting the apple pie in the oven when you're going to sell your house. You just want them to leave that nice homey impression. I would have to say first impressions, while they don't end up ruling the day in my mind, they do make a serious impact upon me. I think that if you're put off, especially in this fragile situation, this is the most precious thing you have, your child. You want your child to be happy and welcome in a situation. If someone looks at you the wrong way, that might just intimidate you and have you go running somewhere else, and that somewhere else may be a place you shouldn't be. Maybe you should be where you were looking first, but just that person doesn't know that they should be more welcoming to prospective people, whether the parents are coming in for a preview time, a prearranged preview time, or whether they're just coming in because they want to make an appointment. I think it's very important for the office staff in a school to recognize that any parent is a prospective parent, and any parent who walks in, it's an opportunity to put your best foot forward for the school and for the Boston Public Schools.